Okay guys, today I'm going to show you how to make some fins out of common material that you can find at the hardware store or at the hobby shop, whatever. But I'll show you the process. Materials. Okay, here we go. First off, you want some small screws, you know, something like this. Okay, or I'm sorry, you want some small nuts. And you want some small short bolts. This is all I could find at the hobby store. I've got plenty of 440s, American Standard stuff. You might want to get some plating. I mean, it's pretty inexpensive. It's super thin. It's steel. What type of steel? Probably a good quality. And then get a sheet of aluminum, some 1/8 inch thick aluminum. Okay, and then if you want, pick up some supplies at the hardware store. This is, you know, just aluminum stock. It's 1/8 inch also. Wrong, sorry, 1/16 of an inch. And yeah, so basically you've got just over $20 to make 5 fins. You can make five fins with 20 bucks. So that's a pretty good value. I mean, here's a stock fin off the Sunfire. It's made out of rubber, plastic. It's really flexible. Nice. I mean, you bash on this and it's not going to break. It's just going to bend. If you bash on one of the aluminum fins like this one, it's going to get damaged. I rolled this one over. This is the first one I made. I rolled the car over a couple times and it scraped up the edge, but that's easy to clean up, you know, and it's easy to throw some paint on it. I haven't painted this one. And then this is another one I made, different kind of a idea. So I'm going to make a fourth one, and I kind of showed you how I make them. I just use tin snips, and I use a clamp to clamp stuff. It might be good to have something really sharp to scribe into the aluminum, because you'll be more precise if you do that than if you were to use like a felt pen or something. I mean, you can use a ballpoint pen. They get pretty close, but I think it's better to scribe. A lot of things that most people probably don't have. I'm just showing you how to do it with caveman tools, basically. So, you know, if you had a brake and a shear, if you had electric tin snips and different things like that, you know, you'd be doing a lot better. Something else that is pretty common around the house is you might have some squares. This is just a typical carpenter square. They make them in plastic. It's just as good. You know, that kind of stuff is good for making square cuts and stuff. You know, you might want to have that. Angles, you can do angles, whatever you have on hand. Something else you can have, if you don't have these killer nice sheet knockers clamps, you know, then you could just use vice grips. Vice grips work pretty good. They're same principle. I mean, what I like about these over vice grips is you can get around stuff. And this is a real small set. I've got a larger set. I'm not really a sheet metal guy or a metal working guy, but, you know, primitive tools. Okay, so let's just say you did have to buy a clamp. I don't know what a pair of small channel axes, you go to Harbor Freight, probably $5 or something. But hopefully those are basic tools everybody has. You know, you're not going to have a mill or a lathe or nothing. But yeah, this is pretty good stock. I mean, this is, you know, a pretty good chunk of aluminum. I mean, it's $4.29. I don't know, not bad. Anyways, I was surprised at the price of these nuts and stuff, because normally, you know, I go to get 4 wheel nuts or something and it's like 10 bucks, you know, and they're not much better than what these are. I mean, these are not wheel nuts, but, you know, the smallest hardware you can get, the better. Let's see. On this one, I used 440s, which are American Standard, and I didn't have any Loctite. I just ran out of Loctite, and I don't know if Loctite would really work as well as captive bolts like that, you know, nuts, I'm sorry. You know, because these have the nylon on the inside, and they grab. They don't come spinning off on you. Anyways, let's see what the fourth fin looks like. I don't know, guys. I may not sound very excited about this, but I really am. I really like making stuff. I just do. That's just me. All right, so here's some more of the process. I just rough cut this one. I didn't even square it off or do anything. I just rough cut it to what I think I wanted, you know, because I want it bigger than that one, and it's just totally rough all the way around. Now, this virgin piece of aluminum that I'm going to use, I want to keep it square, so even though it doesn't matter on the part that I'm making, I want the remaining material to be, squared off. So if I need to use it for something that's square, I can, You don't want a crooked piece of aluminum. And I just put a scribe mark on it with something sharp, so I can see the line. And then I just take the tin snips. There's actually, these are just straight ahead tin snips. These are not angled or anything. I mean, these are just tin snips that I have. I live pretty close to the airport, so you'll hear airplanes passing over. Okay, this is really hillbilly, man. But something I have to do is, sometimes I'll flip the material over because I just can't get it. It's not like it's thin enough to get the tin snips to go all the way through. Whatever you got to do to eat through the thing, you got to just do it. Unless you have good tools, you might have an electric tin snips or, like I said, a shear. That would be nice. Now this, for some reason, when I do cut through it, it just kind of wants to snap off, whatever. Okay, sometimes it doesn't really much matter. I think that on this piece, every piece is its own individual piece. I just snap it off. It's not perfectly square, but at least it is square. It's not just jagged. Now, as a caveman, what I do is I beat this down flat. See that? So it's kind of humped up there. I beat that down flat on an anvil if I'm going to work on it further. But I'm going to be cutting on it anyway, so who cares? I just need to make some simple cuts on this thing. Line it up with this one and scribe it out with that one, because I'm going to put them together when I grind them down or sand them down, so they're going to be exactly the same. Did I catch this edge? That's the most important edge. Yeah, I think I pretty much got it. So I just follow my lines and then, whatever. Okay, here we go. This is what I have to do because I don't have the force on my wrist to be able to do it, so I just let the tin snips set against something, and then I just push on them, and I just don't have a grip, that's all. It is what it is, Yeah, that's hillbilly, all right. Anyways, okay. So I got to nip these little guys off. I didn't mark that other top one, but I'm not real precision on that anyways. Yeah, I guess I did. And then there. All right. Okay, the side parts to your wing, they're kind of the hardest to work with. This one I haven't done anything with yet. I've deburred the edges a little bit on the grinder. This one, I cleaned it up a little bit better. So all I'm doing there is, I mean, you could get a deburring tool, you can do whatever, but I do this because I want to prep it for paint anyways. And it takes all the tool marks and burrs and everything out while you're doing the flat surface. So, it's not a big deal. But I sand it for quite a bit. I get it really good on the edges especially. So, yeah, and then it ends up like that when I'm done. So basically, I'm not going to really go over anything else. I think I've covered pretty much anything. If you can make these two little side fins for your wing, then you're pretty much done. All you got to do is take your flat metal, cut it to the length of the wing. I'm going to make this wing a little bit longer than what the normal Sunfire wing had. And I might make it a double decker, maybe put a little spoiler on. I'm going to get it kind of fancy on this wing. But anyways, what I'm saying is, cut your material the length you want, take some kind of L brackets, or I'm going to use this steel. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off and bend my own little brackets with this. I'm going to make my own little brackets. So yeah, I'll show it to you when it's all done, and you can see what it looks like. Okay guys, here's the final product on this wing. Kind of seems to dip down in the center. I might be able to bend that back up a little bit and make it look a little better, but yeah, it's not perfectly squared. Not perfectly squared, but who cares? Once it's painted black, they look a lot better once they're painted black, but that's basically it, Yep. And then my other one I made. So I'll get them painted and put them on the cars and see what they look like. Should look okay. Okay guys, there's the final product. This is the final one that I just did. Right here, it needs to be painted. They need to be painted, but they look pretty cool on the cars. And that one there. Yeah. I don't know what you guys think of them, but I don't know. Even if I bash them and break them, I got 5 fins for 20 bucks, you know? And it gave you something to do. All right, I think I'll be signing off now. Thanks for watching, you guys.